What's going on, everybody? It's Jeff here. Welcome back to the channel. So yesterday there was an announcement that a settlement has been made in regards to the shareholder litigation, really trying to prohibit the APE and AMC conversion. I want to dive into this a little bit deeper and highlight some of the facts. We're not going to talk about everything that you've probably already heard over the last 24 hours. I want to take a deeper look into this, as well as talk about why price is reacting the way it is. So let's get right into it. First off, some of the articles that had come out talking about AMC slumps as lawsuit settlement opens the door to capital raise. This article states AMC's APE conversion settlement could lead to potentially massive $16 billion equity raise. Obviously, mainstream media continues to portray all of the negative that is available when in regards to AMC. But let's take a look deeper into this one comment I have that is highlighted right now. So we're not going to talk about, okay, the details of the settlement. We're not going to talk about the details of the split. It's going to be going from a 7.5 for every one share, or from a 10 to 1 to a 7.5 to 1. As far as the timelines on this, is it going to be a reverse split first, then a conversion, and so forth? You see a lot of people on Twitter so far trying to calculate some of these. Those details will be settled out. The big question, when is this going to happen? And if this is going to happen, is I think is what the question should still be, right? So everybody's like, okay, when is it going to happen? My question is if it is going to happen. There's two reasons behind this. One is the highlighted, the reverse stock split, the conversion, the settlement payment are subject to the lifting of the status quo order, which requires court approval. And it has not been given yet, right? So therefore, a settlement has been made between AMC and obviously the plaintiffs, where they both agree on something, but a court has to approve this. A judge has to approve this in order for it to be put into effect and officially go through. So while we are a few steps closer, okay, or I should say the plaintiffs are a few steps closer in closing this case, right? It still has not been approved, which is why price is affecting this as of today. Okay, you can take a look at AMC, which is down. APE, which did really pop right away from that 150 all the way up to $2, about a 30% pop when AMC had dropped about 25%. Okay, obviously that market cap has to stay the same. We've already talked about that numerous times. AMC did halt to the upside before kind of just slowly selling off and still sitting around that 390, which is where it really settled after hours, and APE has slowly faded away. However, you still see this price difference, right? APE is trading at about $1.70 and AMC is still over twice that amount, okay? The reason being for this is because it is not guaranteed, right? And that's why when people talk about when is this going to happen, I think the better question is still if this is going to happen. While they might be, like I said, while they might be a couple steps closer, it still is up to, a judge and a court order to be able to approve this and officially have this go through. Okay. So keep that in mind. The second part is another big question. Okay. Which is obviously the gap is closing a little bit, but why is APE only up, 14%? Why is AMC down around 24%? And that really is explainable on something I've talked about for quite some time, and really just the headline of this article. All right, the conversion settlement could lead a potentially massive $16 billion equity raise. Okay, dilution, right? We're still talking about raising money, which is going to dilute the stock for shareholders, which is, showing that there is struggle when it comes to, the bottom line. And what it does also when it comes to the reverse split is you're artificially trying to inflate the shareholder value, right? By raising that stock price while market cap stays the same. And what I mean by that, guys, is if you have $100 bill or you have $101 bills, the value is the same, right? While one might be one piece of paper and another might be 100 pieces of paper, the overall value of it is still $100. Doesn't matter which way you try to, break that up, that will still stay constant. But when it comes to the dilution, those are still the fears when it comes to, shorts trying to pile on this, when it comes to other investors hesitating, on bidding this up. You can clearly see that this played out fairly normal. All right. I'm sure, really quickly at the open, you see this break right over this 408 to 410 level. Okay, traders might have jumped on this, try to ride it up. As soon as it gets that halt, it's kind of like, okay, wait a minute, hands off. We've seen this game before, how market makers play it. We get that first halt and then it really just slowly fades. And, obviously traders don't want to be able to get in on this. Volume has slowed down throughout the entire day. Okay. So just keep those two things in mind. We're still going to wait for news to approve whether a judge gives the go ahead. All right, and this whole process is able to convert, as well as the speculation behind all of this. How much are they going to be able to continue to pull from AMC? What are the barriers beyond this initial really curveball that was thrown to us? Initially this was the equity preferred dividend. Now it's really just another way basically to be able to raise the overall share count, just doing it a different way. And this is something that in 2021 retail was very, very against, going back to that. So like I said, it still has to play out. So while you're all trying to calculate how many shares you're going to get, is the split going to happen first and then the conversion? Is it going to convert then split? Okay, what numbers are going to be, when is it going to happen, and so forth. Just know that you're still at the very early stages, and as you can see, as of right now, price is still reacting a little bit in a sluggish manner for it. So guys, I do expect APE to be able to kind of probably stay close to around that $1.50 to $1.70 price point once it does, if it does, I should say, if it does get a that approval, it's going to pop right back up really close to on that probably that 275 to probably about 260 to 275 range. And unfortunately, AMC will continue to come down. That market cap between both of them will stay constant. Okay, like we've talked about that for quite some time, guys. So that's it for this video. Like I said, as news continues to come out, I will update you guys. I did not make a video yesterday, and I know people were talking all about the specifics, the details, and so forth. One thing that, like I said, was just very missed is not only when it's going to happen, but if it's still going to happen. And because price hasn't adjusted to be fairly close to even, I don't think they're going to be, let's say, even, right at 250. AMC will probably just trade a little bit higher, but that gap will significantly close. So guys, that's it for this video. See you in the next one.